Death at Le Mans, Gene Wilder, and Alexander the Great are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is June 11th, 2021. It is the 162nd day of the year. There are 203 days left in 2021. It is the 24th Friday in the 24th week and the 84th day of spring. 10 days till summer, everyone. There are no holidays or observances again today. Nothing. That's weird. 2 days in a row. So let's see what June 11th's given us. 1919, Sir Barton wins the Belmont Stakes, becoming the first horse to win the U.S. Triple Crown. I thought something before that won it. That's amazing. 1919, I had never even heard of Sir Barton, and I love the history of the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown and all that. I don't gamble on horses. I just love the history of it. There's a lot of drama that goes into it. One of my favorite stories about horse racing is Secretariat. Great movie, but the actual story is very interesting. 1944, the USS Missouri, the last battleship built by the United States Navy and future site of the signing of the Japanese Instrument of Surrender, is commissioned. 1955, 83 spectators are killed, at least 100 are injured after an Austin Healey and a Mercedes-Benz collide at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. This is the deadliest accident ever in motorsports. So in case you don't know what Le Mans is, it's basically a 24-hour race where factories put in a couple cars. And it's there to kind of promote the cars, but show that their engineering is superior. And it's kind of feather in your cap when you win Le Mans for a car company. You know, it's usually European companies, but later on Ford got into it. The car has to run for 24 hours. You're racing. You could switch out drivers at different points, but it's got to be the same car. Whatever car you put in, you can't replace it during mid-race or something like that. Very interesting race. The crash started when Jaguar driver Mike Hawthorne pulled in front of Austin Healey driver Lance Macklin and started braking for a pit stop. Macklin swerved out from behind the slowing Jaguar into the path of Pierre Levay in his Mercedes. Levay rear-ended Macklin and sent him into the air. Levay's car jumped over the protective berm at about 125 miles an hour and made at least 2 impacts within the crowd. So it hit the crowd, bounced, and hit again, and I'm sure rolled and everything else. The second impact kind of disintegrated the Mercedes and threw Levay onto the track and killed him instantly. When the car disintegrated, the engine block continued to move through the crowd along with the front end suspension and the bonnet of the car. The rear of Levay's car landed on the berm and exploded into flames. In the end, there was all kinds of blame that was thrown around. This was an older track, and it was made some 30 years prior to this actual race. And the cars had gotten incredibly fast at that point. Probably too fast for this course. Then, of course, they blamed the drivers and just all kinds of things. There's a lot of blame to go around. It was so devastating. That was the last race Mercedes participated in until 1987. I mean, not just Le Mans. All races. I mean, maybe some dude owned a Mercedes and was racing it or something like that. But as a factory, as a company, that was it. One of the pit crew that was across the track from the accident, he had said that it was so horrific that he had stood frozen. And this is a man that's, been around racing, I imagine, for a long time. He said he was frozen for over a minute and didn't know what to do. It was that horrific. There was an official government inquiry into the accident. They called all the officials, drivers, and team personnel to be questioned and give evidence. The wreckage was examined and tested. After 12 months, it was given back to Mercedes. In the end, they ruled that there was no specific driver that was responsible for the crash and that it was merely a terrible racing incident. The death of the spectators was blamed on inadequate safety standards and track design. What really sucks, and it's always bad when you're the dude that has the I told you so, but Tony Rolt and other drivers had been raising concerns about this pit area and where the crowd was as far back as 1953. 1963, the American Civil Rights Movement. Governor of Alabama, George Wallace, defiantly stands at the door of Foster Auditorium at the University of Alabama in an attempt to block 2 black students, Vivian Malone and James Hood, from attending that school. Later in the day, accompanied by federalized National Guard troops, they are able to register for school. 1981, a magnitude 6.9 earthquake in Iran kills at least 2,000 people. 1998, Compaq Computers pays $9 billion for Digital Equipment Corporation in the largest high-tech acquisition. 2001, Timothy McVeigh is executed for his role at the Oklahoma City bombing. You know, normally when someone's going to be executed, it's years and years and years. Not him. He knew he's going to be executed eventually. I'll just do it. And he gave up all his appeals and was executed. That was the only decent thing that came out of this, that this guy was man enough to take his punishment without dragging it out. I mean, in the end, he's still a frickin' coward. Movies released on June 11th, 2004, The Chronicles of Riddick. This is a pretty good movie. It starred Vin Diesel, Dame Judi Dench, Keith David, Carl Urban. It's a great movie. I liked it. Also released on this day, which I mentioned last year, there were so many good movies on this date. Napoleon Dynamite in 2004, Ferris Bueller in 1986, The New Karate Kid in 2010, Jurassic Park was released on this day in 1993. And when it comes to music videos, which were a big thing back in the day, 1986, Madonna's Papa Don't Preach. Nowadays, every video's on YouTube, but back in the day, a video release was sometimes kind of a big deal, especially if Madonna was doing it. Born on June 11th, 1933, Gene Wilder. Who doesn't love Gene Wilder? He was in Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, and most notably, he was Willy Wonka, the original one, not that crap Johnny Depp did. He had been an actor in different plays and stuff like that, but his first movie role was with Faye Dunaway, Gene Hackman, and Warren Beatty in Bonnie and Clyde. Love that movie. Love the story of Bonnie and Clyde. Always a good story. Died on June 11th. We're going way back for this one. 323 BC. Alexander the Great, Macedonian king. He was born in 356. They're counting backwards back then. Anyway, very interesting. There's a road in Afghanistan. I was watching this documentary when we were, the height of the war in Afghanistan, and they were talking to some of the locals, and they were talking about the area to this news correspondent, and they referred to this road that went through this valley, and they called it Alexandra Road. And they're all, why do they call it Alexandra Road? And they're, oh, that's the route Alexander the Great took when he came through here. They're all, wow, it's held on to the name that long. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, have a great weekend, be nice to each other.